Hey, I'm Bryan Ellis.
And I'm Casey Ellis.
And this is our Refuse to Lose story. Growing up, when I was a child, we were in church often. I remember going to church. I also remember being sporadic. When Dad was in church, we were in church. When he wasn't, we weren't. I was baptized around 8. I don't really remember a salvation moment experience, but I know that a lot of the kids were getting baptized, and we went to church, and so that was the thing to do. So I was baptized.
Growing up, I never really went to church. My mom worked a lot, and I would stay with my grandma and my aunt, and they would take me as often as they could until I got a little older, and then I started going on my own.
It's like we were going to church often, and then it just kind of fell off. We weren't going to church at all. I didn't step foot inside a church again for almost 11 years.
I remember being 11, maybe 12, and going to church, riding the church van by myself to church. I remember asking the Lord to be with me and to help me, and help me not to have it as hard as my mom did, and then seeing some of the people in my family fall from alcohol and drugs. I didn't want to be that way.
During those 11 years, I was way out in the world, digging myself further and further in a pit, living so recklessly and wicked and wild, and drugs, alcohol, so many impure relationships. And during that time, towards the end of those years, away from God, I met Casey. And we were together a couple years until I was invited to church. And I was invited to church, and Christ saved me.
When I was younger, I thought that I had a deep relationship with the Lord, but it was not until recently that I realized how important a relationship with Him really truly is.
And so from being a spiritual infant in Christ and walking with the Lord, I've come to realize that I have to love God more than anything else in this world, because if I'm loving myself first and not putting God first, my relationship with my wife's not going to be right. My relationship with my kids are not going to be right.
I also have to learn how to love God with all my heart and to trust in Him when things get tough.
As the Ellis family, we refuse to lose in loving God more than anything else in this world, and keeping the faith and trust in Him.
So let you know.